really, really cool too to have people like outside waiting to get in. Like people love to be oppressed outside. Yeah. They're just like, I waited in the rain. Like they love that shit. I love that shit.
Featured fucking creators who paid to come to an event that didn't have a separate VIP line. There's a possibility we may not actually get inside.
I'm gonna fight for a fucking bigger, better TANACON next, and I don't care if it's in 10 fucking arenas, okay? With every police force in the United States, because I love you.
Fuck VidCon! Fuck anyone who created VidCon!
No food. Yeah. There's no food. Yeah. Have nothing to eat. And I am missing a day of VidCon for this because I wanted to support her. Wanted to.
I think we're in a good capacity. I mean, we can drop it to 3,000 if we want it instead of 5,200. I heard! Where are we gonna?
They were too afraid to tell me that you were gonna fuck me over. There's so much more wrong than the people outside, and that's the first problem, that you think that that's the only thing wrong.
Whatever, but like, I think the time of protecting Tana is over.
You also can't just write this off on him, though. You have to critically interview Tana.
Of course. No, I'm going to do that as well.
It's not funny. I know.
More money, I want your money, I want more money, I want your money. More money, I want your money, I want more money, I want your money. Once upon a time, not long ago, I was a hoe. And I'm admitting it, I won't take it back. Cause I did this shit, I was a hoe. And I'm admitting it, I won't take it back. Cause I did this shit, I was a hoe. More money, I want your money, I want more money, I want your money. More money, I want your money, I want more money.
Because we're from Britain, okay? We don't spill tea, we drink it.
Bitch! Yes, it's your girl, Penny Paige, back at it again with yet another video for you ho. Wait a minute, wait. This ain't working.
That's better. Bitch! Yes, it's your girl, Penny Paige, back at it again with yet another video for you hoes. Now today's story is absolutely fucking crazy. I originally, what's up, where is my note? Now a couple of days ago I made a video about TANACON and the title was TANACON you into believing that 20,000 people were at her event. Well, it turns out there was so much more that we had barely scratched the surface on. Literally the next day Shane Dawson started his series, his 3-part docu-series, delving into what really happened that day on the 23rd of June at TANACON. My intention with this video was to have a look through all 3 of Shane Dawson's videos regarding TANACON and to give you guys my overview and opinion in regards to the situation. But the point is, after seeing everything that went down, my opinion doesn't even matter. Shane Dawson's opinion doesn't matter.
I was nervous.
Tana Mongeau's crocodile tears doesn't matter.
None of people love us. I love you.
And even Michael White's segue doesn't matter.
What's going on?
What matters is the 3rd-degree burns, the money scams, the safety of everybody who was involved, who had a ticket that day, and the thousands and thousands and thousands of people who have been left out of pocket. Now, I'm a bitch who does not like to be out of pocket. I'm the kind of person who will look back at my receipt, realise I've been overcharged for 50 pence, go back into the store and demand my 50p back. So I could not imagine going to a convention, paying approximately $65, and then being told all sales are final, send us an email and maybe you'll get your money back. That just doesn't sit right with me. And no matter how much I tried to look into it, no matter how much I tried to look into the mentalities of Shane Dawson, and was he hard enough on Tana Mongeau, and was Tana Mongeau being manipulative with her crocodile tears, and was Michael just a 20-something-year-old boy who wanted to try something new? Regardless of trying to get into the psyches of these people, I simply could not get past the fact that thousands and thousands of people essentially got scammed. First of all, if you haven't seen my first video, Tana conned you into believing that 20,000 people were at her event, go and check it out. It's going to be up here. And just a tiny disclaimer, I do say that the tickets are $170, but it's not, it's $65. I got it wrong. Okay, Mom, I got it wrong. But in fact, the general admission tickets were $65, but you get the gist. Go check it out first so you have a massive overview of what happened before we delve into this story. story. So let's get straight into it. Shane Dawson's video kind of left me with a lot of questions. Episode 1 and episode 2 were so amazing and left me with so many cliffhangers and I loved it. But episode 3 left me on a cliffhanger like a bitch was dangling. Like some big old age pensioner bull swinging in the wind, bitch.
You look lower than Clint Eastwood's testicles.
So what I'm going to do is go through a series of questions that arose when I was watching the Shane Dawson... My voice is going. It's actually going already. Right, before I even go further, I can hear my voice going. So probably by the end of this video, I will have no voice and it will be subtitles only, okay? ASMR drama. You like that? Oh, yeah. Oh. Okay, let's not knock the focus. So here are a few points that I kind of found throughout watching the final episode of Shane Dawson's video trilogy on TANACON that I feel like we as a community need answers for. First one is, where are Tana's contracts? Throughout that final video, we see several contracts that Michael Weiss has made with several different other people. We see the contract that he signed with the security, we see the contract that he signed with the Marriott Hotel, but we don't necessarily see the contract that he signed with Tana Mongeau, and we don't see any other contracts that Tana Mongeau has signed. It just seems weird to me that an event of this size, that Tana Mongeau wouldn't have to be accountable or sign any kind of documentation as part owner of TANACON. Essentially, TANACON and the whole TANACON concept has been derived from Tana Mongeau. Therefore, that is her baby. That is her event. And they were somebody that she just outsourced. So I can't understand why the company, Good Times, would be signing event documentations on behalf of Tana Mongeau. Like, say with myself, I know it's a smaller scale, but I'm planning a wedding myself. There's a lot of things that I have to sign for. There are a lot of things that if I had a wedding planner that they would be able to sign for on my behalf, but a lot of the times I would need to co-sign for various different things. So if Tana was in the loop as much as she is telling us that she was in the loop for, essentially she would have seen loads of documentation detailing contracts and things that it is that she needs to okay. She is the figurehead of the business after all. I'm just not buying the notion that just because she was in a room throwing around ideas and brainstorming with Michael Weiss that she was an intrinsic cog to this working and moving TANACON machine. Nope, sorry, not buying it. Sorry. Bye, another lie.
Girl, bye. Tired of it. I'm tired of it.
My second question is, how much did Tana Mongeau invest? In the video, we see Shane Dawson present that question to Tana in front of Michael Weiss, the CEO of Good Times. But when asked that question, Tana completely dodges it. She almost just shifts the blame completely onto Michael for not doing his job correctly, but never really answering, did you put your money into this? Or was this all of Michael's money?
You said that Tana told her audience and told everybody that she was putting a lot of her own money in this, and you said that's not true.
What do you mean?
Yeah. I mean, like...
explain me saying I'm putting my own money into it. Because whenever I've talked about that, I've talked about the investments that were like made. You told me we're in this together, this is our money, I'm investing it here. And I also don't understand the bankruptcy thing. You've told me one thing about the way that you make your money, but every single person you manage has told me that like it's your mom's real estate money and you have plenty of it and you've scammed them and that, like, fuck Michael, the shit that your clients have told me over the past 2 days, I can't get out of my head. Everyone's fucking...
That was something I only noticed literally a day ago after watching Peter Mon's video.
The question is never answered. The question about did Tana put her actual money into this event is never answered. I don't know if anybody else got that.
Because he's like, she completely dodged the questions. I don't know whether you missed that. And I literally looked at it and I thought to myself, yeah, she just dodged a question. She never answered. Did you put any of your finances into this event? Because if she wanted this event to go off without a hitch, as much as she said that she did, if she'd have funneled some of her own funds into making that happen, maybe, I don't know, as a subscriber or somebody who enjoys Tana Mongeau's content, maybe I would feel like she had a little bit more integrity when she says she really put her all into making this work. So you put your all into making this work? Well, put your money where your mouth is, bitch.
Pay me and get the hell out of my store.
You got change for 100?
My third question is, when is Shane Dawson and the rest of the YouTube community going to stop babying Tana Mongeau? One of the #1 things that I've seen since this whole Shane Dawson TANACON Trilogy has come out is that so many people, and I mean so many people, have been out here dogging Michael Weiss. And for the right reasons. I mean, there is something completely off that I cannot put my finger on with him. I really cannot. But everyone seems to just sit there and go, oh, well, Tana's 19. She's only just turned 20. I mean, at 20 years old, I couldn't do that. Oh, we just need to leave her alone. She's just learning. She just needs to grow up. No, bitch, I'm sorry. No, absolutely not. Michael Weiss is approximately 18 months older than Tana Mongeau, meaning that there really isn't that much of a difference in age between Michael Weiss and Tana Mongeau. Meaning, if we are going to penalise him for his bad decision making, we need to be doing exactly the same and penalising Tana Mongeau for putting her trust in this person who was out here making bad decisions on her behalf, on her name. Because at the end of the day, good times have only been brought into this by proximity, but the name above all of those banners was TANACON. Due into thinking that you were going to go to her event.
He wants to make Good Times seem a lot more than it is. In reality, like I just said to you, it is him, his parents' money, and a bunch of interns who are afraid of him. You know what I mean? Maybe like 10. Well, if he's... But Michael's very quick, like the investor said.
I don't know, it just feels as if Michael has been left to be completely crucified by the internet. However, the person, Tana Mongeau, with the most influence is the person who's being able to get away from this scot-free. Now, take it from me, from first-hand experience, sometimes some of these YouTubers need to understand their influence, need to understand what it is that they can do. I mean, legit, one bitch threw one random accusation at the wall at me, and apparently now for the rest of my life I'm going to be branded a scammer. I mean, Joanne would never.
Gotcha.
But this is kind of synonymous with the YouTube culture that we have going on right now, where the bigger influencers, the bigger you are, the bigger the reach, the more your fans and your subscribers gas you up into thinking that you are like the big I am untouchable. So they don't really care about the things that come out of their mouth, because regardless, there are always going to be people to support them. We need to kind of just dead that culture. It doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter how big you are. At the end of the day, we're all humans, and if you're a dick, you're a dick. And this time, Tana was a dick. And personally speaking, going out to an industry party was a dick move.
Then the day before I tried to fix it, like that was a huge pivotal point. We had basically 12 hours to find a solution.
Yeah.
Instead of sitting in this boardroom with us, like me and my staff did not sleep for 2 days straight at that point. They were out acting like everything was good.
And I'm not buying the whole, oh, I went over there just to speak to people from my network and, you know, figure out what to do. No, you were out there for your birthday party and you were getting drunk, but at least admit it. But once again, Tana Mongeau will get away with it because at least she tried. She had good intentions, right?
The night of all of the fucking TANACON bullshit, did you really go to the party?
I went to my network's thing to talk to people from my network. Like I went inside, it was my network's event, Studio 71. It wasn't like a random party. I was just talking to all of the interns and stuff there because a lot of them are mad. Everyone around is like, go outside, go meet these international fans, go outside, go to Studio 71, talk to the fans outside, talk to the people inside, let them know that you're gonna fix it, whatever.
Be honest, we always need to tell the truth. Be honest, can people really trust you?
And like to see her out partying after like there are thousands of people crying in their hotel rooms and she's just fine in her Gucci boots out partying, like that's like, why do people look up to that? That sounds really mean, but like,
I mean, it's true.
My fourth question is, why did Shane Dawson negate to tell everybody that Tana Mongeau had worked with Good Times back in January 2018. This to me is one massive part of the puzzle, because even in Shane Dawson's videos he shows clips of Tana Mongeau from that Good Times event that happened all the way back in January. That to me shows that he admits that he's aware. This isn't some random unavailable footage that he was able to get his hands on. This is literally all over the Good Times website and on Good Times TV. I mean, legit. Tana is all across the Good Times tour webpage. She is also all across the merchandise webpage that I can barely pronounce. I'll put that on the screen somewhere. And she's also on Good Times TV, which is a streaming service that has been started by Good Times Entertainment. She is all over the majority of their products. She knew who Michael was. In fact, she'd worked with him previously. And I'd go as far as to believe that the reason that he wanted all of the footage for the TANACON documentary is because he wanted to put it onto Good Times TV, his $6.99 monthly payment streaming service. But just due to the amount of promotional material featuring Tana Mongeau that is available out there on the web, I would say that Tana Mongeau was Good Times' most prized possession. Tana also states in the Shane Dawson finale video that Michael Weiss stopped working on a lot of his previous projects that he had with other content creators to focus solely on Tana Mongeau and getting and making money from Tana.
So why does every single one of your clients tell me that 6 months ago they knew that you were gonna scam me? That 6 months ago you stopped working on all their stuff just to make money off of me?
That leads me to believe that this whole VidCon versus TANACON boycott situation was premeditated and pre-planned almost 6 months ago. So if it was premeditated and they had been planning this ambush, if you will, since January 2018, that means that they had plenty of time to get their shit together. So the whole 2 months to create an event thing really was just a complete and utter cop-out. But that's just a conspiracy. Some would call it a Shane Dawson conspiracy, you know what I mean? Good Times is an LLC company. You can see this literally on the bottom of every page of the Good Times website. So they make it clear from the outset that they are an LLC company. If you don't know what an LLC company is, I'll read the definition out to you. An LLC is a limited liability company. It's a corporate structure whereby the members of the company cannot be held personally liable for the company's debts and liabilities. Meaning that this whole bullshit about him having to go bankrupt and having to lose his house and everything like that is complete and utter crap, because he is not liable for any of the debt incurred by this company.
You don't understand, Shane. It is so heartbreaking, and I'm going to lose everything. Like, everything.
And just so you get that information for your nerve, this means that Michael himself won't have to file for bankruptcy. However, his company may have to go into liquidation.
He said to me 5 times that he's gonna lose his house, he's gonna lose everything. Is that real?
His house is owned by his parents, or he rents it, or he's fine. Like, he's fine. Completely.
Meaning that he would not be responsible for any monies that he has to obtain or find in order to give the ticket buyers their money back.
Which means that he is personally responsible for finding $325,000 to give refunds.
That is not correct.
Which kind of leads me on to the next set of questions. Who in the southern fried fuck is VEEPS? And why, in the Wendy's Fillet Burger No. 7 meal deal, are they holding the money for all of the ticket buyers? That was like the biggest thing that I thought, that makes no fucking sense. Usually how ticket companies work, say with Eventbrite or Good Seats or Ticketmaster, is that whoever is hosting the event, Good Times, Tana Mongeau, whatever, TANACON Incorporated, who gives a fuck, they're all fake companies to me. Usually what happens is those companies will take in the ticket requests, VIP tickets, standing tickets, round circle tickets, of whatever event it is, and the company takes a percentage for handling the overall financial and banking aspect of the ticket handling. situation. So let's give it a nice round number. Let's say Beyonce has a tour in the O2 Arena in London and she sells tickets for £100 and Ticketmaster take 10%, so they get a tenner for every £100 ticket it is that she sells. Now usually what's wrote up in these contracts tends to be if something happens like unforeseeable circumstances or there is a reason why the event cannot go ahead, it will not be at the detriment of the ticket handling company. Which means regardless on the overall amount of tickets that were sold, even if you do have to refund and reimburse, that company still gets paid. So if you're spending 10% on every ticket and Beyonce sold £100,000 worth of tickets, that would mean that £10,000 would go to Ticketmaster, and if she has to refund everybody because she was sick and she couldn't fulfill her obligations on that day, that would mean that she would have to pay the ticket handling company all that money, regardless of whether she showed up to work or not. So how do you get your money back? Well, luckily if you purchase with like American Express or a Visa credit or debit card, then it should be pretty simple to get your money back. You can kind of pretty much stop and retract the transaction directly from your bank. However, if you paid by other means, it may become a billion times difficult to get your money back. Okay, next question. Why did VEEPS only trademark their name in January 2018? So through doing a bit of research, I was able to find out that the VEEPS website, the domain name for the website was registered in 2001. However, the trademark for VEEPS wasn't requested until January 2018. Basically, around the time that Tana Mongeau and Michael Weiss even came into contact with each other. Coincidence? I don't know, I'll let you make your own decisions, bitch. But my question is, why did Michael use a very brand new company, as it seems, by the name of VEEPS rather than other more well-known ticketing services? I mean, I understand that Ticketmaster, they have a lot of things in terms of compliance and all that kind of stuff, but he could have used Ticketmaster, he could have used Eventbrite. Eventbrite probably would have been the better solution because Eventbrite, I think it's 6.5% of the ticket price it is that they take. And also, if you want to sell free tickets, it's actually free to use the service as well. So free tickets, they take no percentage of. Which, if it was a free event, the way that Tana Mongeau was making it out to be, which we later found out was a complete and utter bullshit lie, it would have been very beneficial for them to use Eventbrite. But it just seems weird to me that Michael went for VEEPS, this random company that nobody's heard of, that was run by complete nobodies. I don't know, just none of that makes sense to me. And I think the timing of registering the trademark and all of that malarkey was just too close for comfort. Also, another thing that I found very interesting was when looking through the terms of service on the VEEPS website in order to decipher what kind of contract it is that Michael Weiss would have been getting himself into, it seems as if the terms actually updated in May 2018, which would have been just before the TANACON event. Why did they update their terms of service shortly before the event? Could it possibly be that the company was preempting that this would go absolutely terribly? And this one is the biggie. The weirdest fucking thing that I found out about VEEPS when finding out the domain and the registry and all of that malarkey is the fact that VEEPS is registered offshore. As in, the company is registered to a PO box in the Cayman Islands. Now, if you don't know about the Cayman Islands is one of the biggest places for tax evasion and money laundering scams, etc. The reason is because the Cayman Islands is pretty much a tax safe haven. So a lot of companies can get away with not paying taxes by registering their company in the Cayman Islands. So it seems weird to me that a company that deals specifically with the financial aspect of events are registered in the Cayman Islands. That's an offshore bank account if you ask me. That's allegedly, I don't want a lawsuit, allegedly. In fact, when Barack Obama was in office, one of his main objectives was to completely eliminate and eradicate these Cayman Island offshore banking solutions.
4 years. We've talked about shutting down overseas tax havens that let companies set up operations to avoid paying taxes in America. That's what our budget will finally do. On the campaign, I used to talk about the outrage of a building in the Cayman Islands that had over 12,000 businesses claim this building as their headquarters. And I've said before, either this is the largest building in the world or the largest tax scam in the world.
The CEO of VEEPS, Sarah Sadie, I don't know how to pronounce that last name.
Yeah, I also keep calling her Sarah. It's not, it's Sherry. I'm dyslexic as fuck. I can't read for shit. But yeah, just know that I corrected myself, but it is Sherry.
She removed a lot of her information off her LinkedIn profile. She proudly announced on her LinkedIn profile that she was the CEO of VEEPS. And now, ever since this TANACON situation has disappeared, she's no longer proclaiming herself to be the CEO of VEEPS. I find that very, very weird. Now, if you don't know who Sarah Sadie is, I bet you probably wouldn't, but she is a music promoter, manager, or whatever. She has a music management and production company by the name of MDDN. Now, MDDN represents a bunch of different talents, but most notably, the biggest talent they have on their roster is Good Charlotte. It doesn't seem so weird to me that somebody who is a talent manager, who is experienced in having and hosting events on tours and things of that nature, would have their own ticketing company. Just the timing is weird and completely off. I did email Sarah for a statement. She did not get back to me, and I did email the head office, apparently, that's in the Cayman Islands of VEEPS to find out if they could give us any further information as to the ticketing situation with TANACON. Because personally, I believe, if for nothing else, this company, out of just compassionate grounds, should be giving these people their money back. I mean, hell, Ticketmaster did full refunds and retained no money for themselves when Michael Jackson passed away shortly before his This Is It world tour. Another thing that I thought was interesting, besides the whole tax evasion situation with being registered in the Cayman Islands, is also it kind of makes it difficult in terms of litigation, because now you have jurisdiction discrepancies. Within the greatest sense, this is jurisdiction and tax avoidance, which makes me kind of think, just in terms of money and this situation and this weird ass contract that he signed, that apparently all of the money goes over to the company. Is it possible? And this is just a fucking conspiracy. This is just what I'm thinking in my head. There are no facts other than just my theory. But is it possible that this Sarah Sadie or Sadie lady knows Michael Weiss, as seen in this screenshot that they do follow each other on Instagram? Is it possible that he is funneling the money that was made, approximately $325,000 US, into an offshore account in the Cayman Islands? Just a thought.
Now, before anybody jumps down my throat, yes, I did think about the notion that they may be following each other, because obviously he employed VEEPS to do the ticket handling side of things. However, one of my subscribers was able to find a brilliant piece of information. Her name is Jessica. I don't know whether she wants her full name out there, but Jessica got me this amazing piece of information that actually Michael Weiss has had a record company at one point where he had a Vine star and he was trying to make them some kind of musical mogul, and that's another failed business of Michael Weiss's. It's not listed in his top 5 companies that are in his list of companies that he is heavily involved with. So I don't know what the situation is there. I think it's interesting that a record company manager and another person who was trying to get somebody else in the record industry have got this connection. Just, you know, just those little conspiracies.
Please don't sue, because I got no money. Like, I actually have no money for you. Seriously. Like, seriously. No, seriously, don't sue, okay? Disclaimer, I'm broke. The ending of Shane Dawson's video was so lackluster, there was no real conclusion, and left us with so many more questions. Those are all of my questions that have literally been like bubbling up inside my head that we still have no answers for. Beyond all of this, the conspiracies, litigations, offshore banking, VEEPS and whoever the fried fuckery they are, and Tana Mongeau's intentions and what really happened, the point is that none of it matters. What matters is there are thousands of people who travelled from all over the country and the world to come over to TANACON on that day to see their favourite content creators. And what they were left with was first-degree sunburns, no food, no water, in California, Anaheim heat. Whilst they stood outside for an approximate 6 hours to never even get inside their event and never even meet the creators that they set out to meet. There is rumours going around that there is a class action lawsuit that is being undertaken against TANACON and Good Times, and honestly, seriously, I don't think that's going to go anywhere. I personally think that what we need to do as a community is literally, and I never use my influence to do this, but I'm going to use it right now, hound, dog, VEEPS. They are the people holding the money. Why are they holding the money? Everything that happened with TANACON makes absolutely no difference to them. They have not been positively or negatively affected by this experience. Tana Mongeau has been negatively affected by this experience. Shane Dawson has been negatively affected by this experience. Even the devil himself, Michael Weiss, has been negatively affected by this experience. The people who benefit from this is Sarah Sadie, the CEO of VEEPS. We need to figure out how to get this company to give the people their money back. And if they won't give the people their money back, then literally I would boycott anything that has anything to do with Good Charlotte and anything that has anything to do with all of the other artists that it is on MDDN that she represents. Fuck a contract. Give these people their money back. And Shane Dawson, I'm giving you the tough love that you should have given Tana in that very moment when you had the opportunity. Stop babying Tana Mongeau. She is an adult. And at some point, she's going to have to take accountability. This right here, the video that I watched, was one massive, total and complete PR ploy to make sure that Tana Mongeau's name stays intact. And fuck me, I wish I had friends like that too, bitch, like I'm high-key jealous. But at the same time, we are not teaching her anything. She has literally had nothing to learn from this situation. Besides, don't work with Michael Weiss.
I'm gonna ask you something that could make you look really bad. Because I don't want this to make Tana look like the worst person ever.
So instead of shifting the blame, why don't we all take accountability for our mistakes? Tana, you fucked up. You fucked up royally. You hurt thousands of people. Michael Weiss fucked up. He hurt thousands of people. Shane Dawson didn't do his research. He hurt thousands of his fans. But it all comes down to the name that is above that banner, and that name is TANACON. And the biggest con artist of them all is Tana Mongeau with those crocodile tears, because Shane Dawson fell for it, hook, line, and fucking sinker. And I'm a girl, I'm manipulative as fuck, I know how that shit works. Yeah, I see it, I see you.
It's okay, it's okay. I love you too, it's gonna be okay. Okay, we're just gonna talk about everything. I'm sorry. Here, it's okay.
Because ultimately, she was crying for herself and the situation. She wasn't crying for the thousands of people that it is that she hurt. Or else she wouldn't have gone to a fucking party the night that everybody was back in their motel rooms, probably running around with cockroaches on the floor, thinking, what the fuck have I just put $1,000 into?
I would say that it's extremely disappointing for someone that I've looked up to for a long time to not seem like they care about disappointing so many people.
And that's the bigger picture, is that it's not even just about a fucking ticket. It is the principle, because a lot of these fucking people travelled from near and fucking far. Some people were travelling from Egypt and fucking Hawaii, and they aren't going to get their money back. So my question is, what are you going to do? Because after all of this, there is still no fucking answers. Hey guys, I'm just in post edit at the moment, and literally just as I was about to upload this video, Shane Dawson has put out a statement that was from VEEPS. I don't know whether they've put out a public statement or not, but basically people have 30 days in order to claim their money. Now I still stand by everything that I've said in this video. Personally speaking, I do think that it is a very, very dodgy situation, so I don't know whether a little bit of backpedaling is going on, because when I originally sent an email to VEEPS in order to get a statement from them, in order to find out any further information from them that could possibly help this story, I received this email. So as you can see from this email, it seems as if they were pushing the book onto Good Times, and it was Good Times that they were wanting to issue these refunds. And now, all of a sudden, under pressure, it seems as if now they are issuing refunds. So we'll see. The proof will be in the pudding. Will people actually receive their refunds? If they do, fantastic. If they don't, then I will definitely be following up this story. Anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like it, if you don't, I don't give a shit. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification with the bell so that you guys get a notification every single time the Petty Paige when I make new content. Make sure that you leave all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you think that Tana Mongeau was let off very fucking lightly for a situation that if it had been somebody else around the same age range, I don't know, like Amanda Ensing, people would have literally ripped her face off? I mean, not being funny, Jordan Byers was dragged across the internet for less, for the words brutally fucking honest. Or do you think that Shane Dawson was right on the fucking money and handled that appropriately? And also, what do you think about my theory on the offshore banking solution that is VEEPS? It's just a theory, but tell me if you think that there is any truth to it, and if you have any further information. But send me all of your receipts or anything else that you think could further back up my claims or completely rip apart my claims. Send that all over to my social medias. All of my social medias are at PaigeChristieUK, and they are in the description box down below. I personally think that Tana Mongeau let a lot of us down, and I am so glad that I never went to TANACON. But I also think that there is something very, very fishy that is going on with Michael Weiss and VEEPS and the timing and how it was all constructed. It just does not make any sense to me. But that is just my humble opinion. And don't take my opinion for it, because I'm in 30-degree heat. Boost! Just petty. Look at me with this Beyonce wind. You better work, bitch. You better work. What?
Too much money in the bank. I ain't trying to play no games. Fuck, I hate it gon' sack. I be on my hustle all day, little bitch. Stay in your place, motherfucker, I'm paid. Too much money in the bank. I ain't trying to play no games. Fuck, I hate it gon' sack. I be on my hustle all day, little bitch. Stay in your place, motherfucker, I'm paid.
Now take the